Continuing our drasha, our investigation of the various kinds of breads and the bracha that you might make, I'd like to mention pizza. Pizza is always an issue, right? But if you make a pizza out of flour and water, right, that doesn't have any fruit juice in it, then there's no doubt that the bracha that you should make is hamotzi. I mean, it's bread, it just looks different. And all the stuff that's on top of the bread, the cheese and, all of that is kind of liftan. It's kind of an addition. Now this is discussed in the Shulchan Aruch in Kuf Samachet Yud Zayin. And there, in Kuf Samachet Yud Zayin, the Shulchan Aruch says, Pashtida, hanefe betanur bebasar o bedagim. If you have some kind of a kugel that is baked in the tanur with meat or fish inside of it, o bigvina, or with cheese, mevarech alav hamotzi ubirkat hamazon. You have to say hamotzi and birkat hamazon. The Mishnah Berurah explains as follows: Hainu afilu b'delo kava alayu. Even if you were not actually eating a meal, you kind of got your pizza out in a street side stand, even though that itself is a problem. The Jews should not eat in that way. The Mishnah Berurah says this is not like one of those cakes that you don't have to say hamotzi, right? Which is like a pot, a piece of bread that is filled with juices. Velo mevarech alayu hamotzi, and you don't make hamotzi on that kind of bread. B'delo kava suda alayu. So there are these two features, right? On the one hand, if something is made out of a bread-like flour, then you have to make hamotzi. It's halacha we learned at the beginning of our discussion that even a pirur, even a crumb, when you eat a crumb of bread, you have to make hamotzi. There's another factor, and that is that if it's not really bread, there's something unbread-like about it, then it depends whether you determine this to be the centerpiece of a meal or not, right? Kaveh suda alayu. Yeshani hatam, dein asuyim ela likinuach suuda ulemitika. He says there's a distinction. There's certain things that you eat at the end of a meal, sort of like to finish things up, like a cookie sometimes, or in this case, a dough that's filled with fruit juice. And but this pashtida that we're talking about, the pashtida that we are talking about is something that you eat as the major part of the meal because it's filled with meat or fish or cheese. So it would seem that pizza, right, that is made of a dough that doesn't have fruit juice in it, the proper bracha for that kind of pizza is hamotzi.